Welcome to a Drop Tent Media Production.
Stuck in this nightmare, we are going to kill you. I'm so scared.
Everybody, welcome to Handle with Scare with these two idiots. Here on Handle with Scare, we're all about terror and titillation. Okay, titillation got me today. This is where two ghoul friends are here to spill all about things horror, bizarre, burlesque, and body mods. As always, we want to hear from... I don't like this last sentence, and I'm changing it. Okay. I hate it. As always, we want to hear from you guys about what you want to hear. So if there's something you want us to talk about, just let us know on our social media.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends.
Well, that's not in the essay here. So
yeah, because you never even fucking read the essay anyway. You change it halfway through and you moved your whole chair.
So I didn't have to look at you.
Me.
But now I have to because I'm having a conversation with you and that's rude.
So, as always, let us know. Hit us up on the social medias below. See where you can find us next. We'll have new episodes every Saturday. Catterday, unless one of the dogs does something stupid and we have to back out. R.I.P. What are we talking about today, Anna?
We're going to talk about Halloween.
Halloween, the spookiest of seasons.
Yes, but first, we have to talk about something really dumb. Something truly dumb. Actually, probably the dumbest thing that we've showed you on Handle with Scare.
Probably one of the dumbest things in the world, which is today's dumb tattoo of the week.
Okay. And here it is. Guy Duck, Sci-Fieri.
It's the fucking goatee for me. It is the goddamn goatee on the bottom of his fucking bill that just like sends
Why, thank
me.
you, because today's dumb tattoo of the day is brought to you by me.
If you want a dumb tattoo, dumber than this,
Not possible.
Or slightly less dumb. I mean, you know, Anna pretty much tattoos whatever, except for like shitty tribal.
Yeah, no shitty tribal.
No shitty tribal.
Anna also has to take a call from 1-800-STEAMER.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get yelled at for that, but anyway, if you want to book a tattoo with Anna, feel free to send in your booking form at pushtattoos.com. You can also book with any of the other amazing artists there. Whole crew, phenomenal, 10 out of 10. So that is that.
I enjoy the detail. I like the stitching, even on the neck.
I know. The
Right there.
stitching on the collar really sends me. I was at work and she'd sent this to me. And I was like, I fucking hate you. Don't talk to me for the rest of the day. But then I showed it to everybody that I work with. And we were sitting there going, Guy Doc.
Like a big old proud mom.
Now, quick question for you, Anna. I know you don't do tribal tattoos. Now, if I were to want to get a Guy Fieri tattoo,
You can have whatever you want.
but then get a tribal tattoo on said Cy Fieri.
You can have whatever the fuck you want, Evan, for the rest of your life, you angel.
All right. I mean, it's not the answer I was looking for, but it is a good one.
Hashtag screen time for Evan.
Hashtag
the new trend.
Evan's
Should we
here.
put that on merch when we start making merch?
I know. When
I think that'd be great.
get my head out of my ass and start making the merch.
Listen, we saw my drawing skills.
I think that should go on the merch, so I don't know.
Feeling cheeky for fall. All right, so obviously Halloween, greatest time of the most wonderful time of the year.
You know what though? You know what though? Is it?
Yeah, bitch.
Because
it
as
is.
I've become an adult, something very interesting has happened. Christmas is my favorite holiday.
All right, well, I'll judge you for that later.
I will have a whole episode about Christmas movies, Christmas horror
Yeah,
soon.
we
someday.
sure will. But
One of my favorite genres.
all right, well, that can come in a different episode. So Halloween, obviously, everybody kind of has their own like things that they do once the spooky season hits. So let's talk about that, baby. What are your favorite things to do once Halloween season comes rolling around? What of the things you've been doing since you were a young child?
When I was a wee lad.
When I was
A young boy.
my father.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We got that. Good. So my mom used to actually dress up before she became a trophy wife, so that was like cute, and then we would like have costumes that like went together. But the costumes that existed when I was a child were very interesting. One time I was a butterfly and I had a fuzzy black full suit except for my face was out and then big wings. Like, I guess they wanted to make me look like the middle of the body of the butterfly, and it was the hottest costume of life.
The warmest.
Yes, it was stupid. And then I was like, why didn't she just give me wings? Had to be the whole fucking fuzzy body of a butterfly.
I love it. Do you
Yeah.
remember what you were like your very first?
I was a pumpkin. Who wasn't a pumpkin?
I wasn't.
You weren't a pumpkin? What were you?
I was a blue M&M. That was literally what my mom did for my very first Halloween.
You couldn't have even been the yellow or the red one,
No,
the stars of the show.
I was the blue M&M, and I was like,
God.
Mom, why? But my second Halloween, I actually literally just found a picture of this the other day. I guess I was supposed to be Minnie Mouse, but my mom definitely made this costume.
Is there a picture of it?
There
Can
is
I
a
see
picture. I
of
sent it to Evan. And the only picture that I think exists of this costume, or at least the only one that I've seen, I have a piece of like fake toast in my mouth. And like, you can't tell me shit. Like, I look like,
Oh, where is it?
there it is.
What?
There
Hold on a
it
minute. Did you ask your mom?
I just found it like a couple days ago again for the second time. So I gotta ask her. But like, I'm sitting there looking at this costume and I'm like, this is definitely supposed to be like homemade Minnie Mouse. There's no way that I was like,
You know what?
ears
She tried.
and the bows. I'm here for it. But why am I out here acting like Godzilla? Ready to wreck the whole house down. And I definitely bit and broke that toast.
Definitely.
So like, who let me do this? Also, that's just how you know.
Is your mom supposed to be Ariel in the corner?
That's not my mom.
Who is that?
That is my older sister.
Oh, that's a child. Okay.
If that's my mom, we have a huge problem.
Wait, why does your sister as Ariel have Carrie's mom's wig on?
Listen, I don't know. But that wig got recycled a few years later when I became the iconic Spiderella.
Do you have that?
Which I also definitely sent Evan a picture of. It's the one where I have a glowing pumpkin in the center of my chest. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That wig got recycled. Let me tell you something about that costume. I think I was Spiderella 4 years in a row because I was so obsessed with that
interesting. Because I
costume.
was something 4 years in a row. I was Boy George the last 4 years for Halloween because I was so good at it that I just decided that that's what I was gonna do every time, and I didn't want to fail at Halloween.
I love it. Do you remember, like, when you were a kid? I don't know if any of you, like, had those, but do you remember those lights? Those pumpkin lights that they would give children so that you were, like, glowing and nobody would hit you?
No,
No?
no,
Bro,
because
my
my
mom made me
parents,
wear that
my
shit
parents,
every year.
there was never a Halloween where my parents didn't walk with me.
No, my
Yeah.
parents didn't. My parents walked with us too, but every year they gave me that pumpkin necklace and it glowed and like the corner flashed like a bicycle light so that nobody would hit you. Even though my parents were with me, they were like,
My
"Yeah, you
bucket
need
glowed in the
this."
dark.
Oh, that's fire. I used,
There was that.
Do you remember when McDonald's, our fave place, do you remember when McDonald's gave out the trick-or-treat bags and
Yes,
buckets?
of course.
I had one of those for a very long time.
I love McDonald's. I have everything that they ever
with
did.
the Nugget Gang.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
their little like Halloween costumes.
I good friends at McDonald's.
The good pals.
Sponsor us.
For real, McDonald's, can we get a sponsorship, please? I'm trying to get some Grimace merch forever.
I'm trying to just have all the McDonald's merch to decorate my station.
Yeah, that's big moons. What was your favorite Halloween costume when you were a kid?
I mean,
Because this was my favorite. I was literally at 4 years in a
honestly,
row.
I think I like. My mom always picked our Halloween costume. Like we stopped trick or treating really early.
Wait, you didn't pick your own costumes?
Not until I was like 10. Barely ever picked our.
Really?
Yeah.
I was probably like,
I
okay,
think I was a vampire like 7 times.
I definitely did the vampire a while. I think I started picking my costumes when I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
And like my parents were like, yep, okay, whatever.
I'm trying to think of like my Halloween just was never like.
It wasn't a big thing for you?
No, it was never memorable. My mom and I watched horror movies year round, so it was like.
I mean, yeah, fair. I don't know. Halloween was always a big thing. Like my whole family got into it.
Yeah.
And at the time where we lived, I remember there was this family. Their last name was Valentine. I will never forget this. And their daughter's name was Majesta. And I always thought that was the coolest name ever. Her name was Majesta Valentine. And they went balls to the wall on Halloween and would turn their whole front yard and their garage almost into like a haunted house.
You gotta love those people.
Literally, shout
Yeah.
out to I'm sure they're never gonna watch this, but shout out to the Valentines wherever they
You know
at,
what?
because like I was scared as a child. I
Yeah.
was scared to go up to their house and get candy, even though I knew them and I loved
But
them.
you know what?
Because it was so good.
Speaking of haunted houses, do you like those?
No.
Like a little Eastern state, a little Frightland. Frightland, shout out to Delaware.
Ooh.
Shout out to Delaware. Frightland.
So
I love them. I think they're great. I'm also a big pussy bitch and I will run away at the sight of any trouble.
So here's my hot take on haunted houses. I love them. I love the idea of them. I am terrified of them. I have such anxiety and everybody makes fun of me for it that I will full on break down and have a panic attack and cannot go through them. I will never forget the first haunted hayride that I ever went on. I was with my dad and my older sister, and I pulled my hat down from, like, because it was cold. I was wearing, like, a knit hat, and I pulled it all the way down underneath my chin and then tried to bury myself in the hay of the hayride, and somebody stepped on me because I was so scared. Like, I did not want
Oh my god.
Uh,
You got squished.
like an actor definitely, like, stepped on me. I was like, Jesus, what is that? And it was like, boo, it's a fat kid. Like, hey, I'm scared.
Oh,
Don't
no.
touch me.
I have a fun story. This is like one of those stories that like is not gonna end like how you expect it to. So I'm like the mom of all friends. Am I not?
Shocking.
Am I not?
You're very much the mom friend, yes.
I'm always like, this is probably not a good idea. Or does everybody have everything? I'm that person. So when we went to Frightland with my very good friend Damien, he never had everything. Even when I asked, he would never have everything. And we had our fright passes for Frightland. And I was like, does everybody have their fright pass? Because if you don't have your fright pass, you have to go buy a new one, and we can't, they can't get another one. Well, of course, we're in line.
Pause. What's a fright
It's
pass?
like the ticket for
Okay,
the thing. So I'm like, oh, does everybody have their fright pass? And he's like, yeah, Anna, just calm down. We get to the front of the line for the haunted hayride. And the fucking man who's painted up like Papa Legma, like fucking is like, where's your fright pass? And then Damien's like, can't find my fright pass. So I have to walk back through the line where the actors like to scare you in the line to go get this man's fright pass. So I'm mad, I'm annoyed, and scared. And I had to wait in another 30-minute line. And that was the real horror of that night.
Amazing.
I love that. Everybody better have their fright passes when they go with their friends to fucking anywhere. I'm gonna flip my shit.
Yeah. Hot take. Let us know below your favorite haunted attraction that you've ever been to, your favorite like story of what happened. I have one. So the first time I went to the haunted house, I like did the hayride, buried myself, was too scared, refused to go on anything else. Ruined the rest of that night for my poor dad and sister because I refused to like move, so they couldn't do anything else. They didn't get to go to the haunted hayride or the corn maze or the house because I was just like traumatized 5 ever, and I was like, I want to go home. And I like sat on the ground and I cried and threatened to shit my pants so we could leave. I was like, I will shit right here.
I too threaten to shit my pants when I want to leave a place.
I get so nervous. I'm like, I will shit. And they're like, nah, don't do that. So
Not fart and shit.
yeah. So years pass, and our neighbors at the time, our one neighbor worked for TV Guide when TV Guide was a thing. TV Guide might still be a thing. Hot take is
It is a thing.
Is TV Guide still a thing?
It's still a thing, but it's like nobody probably works for them.
Okay, so back in the day, our lovely neighbors across the street, the dad worked for TV Guide, and he had 2 kids, but they were like much younger than I was at the time. This was probably in like 2005, so they were really little. Like I was like about to get into middle school, but probably wasn't even in middle school yet. And I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day when the Wells Fargo Center was still the Wachovia Spectrum,
Ooh.
we're taking it back
Ooh.
to the Spectrum days.
First Union Spectrum.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So back when it was the Wachovia Spectrum, they did a haunted attraction in the Wachovia Spectrum. And every time I talk about this, no one knows what I'm talking about.
I don't, but that's only because I didn't come to Philly till I was like 12. So.
But like I swore for the longest time that this was a fever dream that I had made up, the way that nobody ever knew what I was talking about. And finally, recently, someone was like, no, I remember that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. So like 2005, 2006, they turned the Wachovia Spectrum into a haunted attraction, but they turned it into a scream park. So it was called Nightmares Extreme Scream Park. And there was like 7 haunted houses that you had to go through, like one after another. The whole thing took like, I think 2 hours to get through. It was supposed to be like the scariest attraction of the year.
Was it?
So TV Guide gave our neighbor tickets, and he was like, well, my kids are way too young. They can't do this. So he gave it to my parents and was like, you guys have kids. They would love this.
Oh no.
Yeah. Newsflash, did not love it.
Did not love
Did not love it. Went with my mom and her friend that happened to be a kid that I went to high school with named Dave. So it was Dave, me, my mom, his mom, and my older sister. And we're walking, and we get out of the car, and they have like the surround sound in the parking lot going, and you can hear people screaming. I start crying in the parking lot as soon as we get out of the car. And they're like, wow, this is great. This is going to go well for us. So the lines were so long because this like event was like such a big deal that they had, you know, your crowd pleaser actors. Shout out to crowd pleaser actors. I respect what you do, even though like I'm terrified of this shit. But like it takes a lot to be just like out in the open and have to generate fear when you don't have like the sets and everything else.
I'm out in
going.
the open and constantly generate fear.
True. Samesies.
So.
But they had flipped
Brave.
over cars and like zombies. So they had like zombie skateboarders, zombie rollerbladers.
This is like such a fucking event.
It was a huge event. That's what I'm saying. Like they put work into this haunted house. That's why I was like, bro, I definitely didn't make this up as a fever.
I don't
dream.
think you made it up.
It's so hard to find though. Like when you Google it, you can't find info about this shit. But like, I remember a zombie rollerblader stopped. Like they would like run up to people and be like, "Skrr," and like scare them because they wouldn't actually hit them, but it would look like they were gonna hit you.
Yeah.
So I threw myself on the ground and started screaming
Did
that
you
I was
threaten to
gonna
shit
throw
again?
up. No, I threatened that I was gonna throw up.
Oh, that's not as effective.
So much that security came over and like told my mom like, hey, we don't think she should go through this. Like if she's having a problem now, like it's gonna get really bad inside. Like these are really scary. She can sit in the security office with the security team. It takes 2 hours to go through. And my mom went, she's going. She'll be fine.
Your mom.
Michelle, I love you so very much. but you ruined my entire life that day. Ruined my entire life.
My parents would never go through a haunted house ever in their life, but have you heard? Have we? I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this. The Mckamey Manor. Have we heard of that? What do we think about that? And I think that's they think it, so like they're trying to make it like now people are saying it's like a Hostel 3 situation where like people pay to see bad things happen to people. I wonder, man, because how does this guy make money if he's just got a bag of dog food donation as the price to go through?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know about Mckamey Manor, honestly, you're not missing out on much. I have like pretty visceral feelings about this. Realistically, I know it's supposed to be some form of haunted attraction, but it's really not. I mean, you're literally paying to see where your limit is on basically getting tortured.
Yeah.
In different ways. And I know that, you know, they want to claim all these different things about how the people are willing for this and they're trying to break their limits and really test themselves and their like mental strength and everything. I'm not living for it. I don't love it. I don't love what they do there. I love that you're getting dog food donations. Like that part is about the only part of that situation that I love. Like there are videos on YouTube, like you can see.
Honestly, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, go on both angles of like going on their page and watching their videos because it's crazy, but then also watch videos about like people's experiences and maybe like some things that weren't so good or consensual so that you're also hearing both sides of the story. I think it's a fucking weird thing.
I don't love it. I wish that it did not exist. And I know that a lot of people have like a lot of very like rigid feelings. And I know that there was a documentary, speaking of like haunted attractions, when they were talking, I think it was called The Art of the Scare, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think we would have to look it up to be like sure, but I'm pretty sure it's called The Art of the Scare, where they start talking about a lot of these like homemade haunts and like the starts of kind of like getting into haunted attractions. Because as much as I hate going through them, I love the idea of them.
Yeah,
I love
the
production value and like the creativeness of it. I think scare actors are like the coolest people and they definitely don't get paid enough. I love it. I really do. I wish that like my anxiety would let me go through it. Maybe we'll test that this year. Maybe I'll go through one again.
If you want to come with me, we'll get the shop.
Oh man,
with the whole shop. You want to come with the whole shop?
Oh man. Comment down below if you want a little vlog moment of me trying to go through a haunted attraction again.
Yes, featuring push tattoos
I
and
feel
all
like
their
this will either
glory.
be really funny or
It would be so funny.
it'll be the most pathetic moments of my life. That's fine,
I think
though.
that'd be great. Also, I think my most favorite recent thing, because I didn't do Halloween last year, obviously. Like COVID, like Halloween just wasn't a thing.
Halloween was really hard.
Yeah, Halloween is going to be kind of probably not too different this year. So
I feel like it's going to be slightly better depending on people's comfortability and how serious people are taking it. You know, like we obviously have both been vaccinated for a very long time. With boosters coming out and being available, things are a little different. Obviously, we're not telling anybody to go out of your comfort zone. If you're not feeling like you're ready to get out there, that's totally fine. More power to you. Respect it. For the people that are getting ready and gearing up, you know, be smart, be safe.
Yeah. But my most favorite recent thing that happened was the show, the Crypties.
Mine.
Yeah, Crypties was so good. I really snapped that day.
You did really snap that day, and we didn't actually send a picture, which we probably should have. But
here, I'm gonna shoot the picture through real quick while we talk about it. Heather, tell us about the Crypties.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, already, I dove into the other side of like the burlesque world right before COVID hit and started my own show that I wanted to bring back a few different times a year. Obviously, COVID kind of changed that, so I haven't had a chance to, but it was called the Crypties Striptease Review. It was a lot of fun.
It was something else.
It was a spot for some of my other performers in the community that, you know, don't necessarily stick to the quote unquote regular burlesque standards, that, you know, are creating numbers that are maybe a little too weird or a little too stupid or like a little too scary for traditional shows. And I wanted to showcase, you know, some different performers. And Anna was obviously part of my show and decided to really come for my neck on this spooky queen situation with a mix of Dracula's Wedding from Outcast
And Mr. Crowley.
and Mr. Crowley. And honestly, shit was fire. Shit was so good.
I like if I ever do come back, which will most likely be in production.
Yeah, I would love to bring that back. I had a really crazy talented cast. We had Nasty and Nice,
It was good.
Esoteric, Idle Hands.
The whole thing was really good. Like organized. I definitely called you by your first name, but it's okay. Like whatever, who cares? Heather had the audacity to give me the mic, and then we saw what happened.
I mean, you asked for the mic, so.
Oh my god, hold on, I found the pictures. Okay, I'm sending them over. But yeah, I thought that was like a really good time. The show was like successful. Lots of people were there. The pictures by Marissa,
By our good friend Marissa.
Photo Lady Photos.
Shout out to Photo Lady Photos.
Oh my god, she really, you know what? If we do come back to the production, she's getting hired every time.
Oh, we're coming back.
The light that she brought, the light that she brought to the show made it even better. Like, I don't know, she just brought like one little light and it just like underlit everybody. It's like Scary Story underlit everybody.
Yeah.
And it was so good, and the audience was into it. It was probably my favorite show that I ever did.
It is so hard for me to like talk about my like things that I've done and like without sounding like I'm, you know, sucking my own dick.
Yeah,
here.
Heather
But,
is an incredible host.
I am very grateful that we had such a great show and that my cast of performers was very happy with the outcome and that my audience members were interactive and enjoyed themselves, and I cannot wait to bring it back. I wanted to bring it back this spooky season, and it's still a little tricky to get into venues, but
the venue that we like is also just so intimate that it's going to be hard to get people out for it.
yeah.
Evan,
maybe soon.
did we have them come through? Did they?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm in a folder right now so I can bring them up.
Perfect.
No worries. We'll take a hot minute.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, there I am.
Oh,
There I am. Look at me go.
Dracula Hoomst.
Hoomst.
That lighting was
Really so
everything.
good. Wow.
If you
Wow.
wow.
So good. So good. And Heather, I got your tit grab.
Oh no, not my tit grab.
It was so good. Oh my god, Marissa really snapped. Oh.
With the cape. With the cape. I can't. Yeah, you know, some lighthearted spookiness that
Look how
obviously
long my
we're not going to
fucking
be
stupid
able
hair
to.
was.
Yeah, your hair was long. That we're not going to be.
Ah!
Oh.
The tit. Yes,
oh,
and
no.
and then hopefully next Halloween we'll be doing the same thing. We'll be tit grabbing.
Tit grabbing. That's
Hot
all I want to
tits.
do. Honestly, one of my favorites. Speaking of shows, God, Jesus. One of my
Cute.
favorite show moments and dressing up and favorite costumes that I've ever put together was probably Old Greg.
You got the old Greg there.
I got the Old Greg there somewhere
Yeah,
in there.
it's
Was
in
not
there.
for this show because I wanted to make sure that my performers had a little more of a moment. So I wasn't
because
trying
old
to-
Greg is it's
Old Greg
It's
is
a
a
lot.
moment. I didn't feel like painting my face green, to be honest with you.
How long did that take?
My roommate did it, who is a very talented special effects makeup artist, who also just recently did some nice ghoul makeup for you.
Oh yeah, here I'll send that over.
But I
too.
was very lucky that she was willing to paint my face green for an Old Greg number, if anybody is familiar with Old Greg from the Mighty Boosh.
I mean, if you're not, I'm really interested. in
Yeah, I'm like really
talking to
confused,
you,
but
actually,
that whole painting my face green, making a seaweed wig, gluing an LED light to a pair of underwear for a mangina light, like there was a lot.
Evan, can we pull that up? Do you got that? You got that in there?
Yeah, I sent it in the pictures. I am wearing a pink tutu and I've got a green face. Kind of hard to miss.
Definitely hard to miss.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There
You motherfucker. Every
Listen.
time.
This costume
Every time I see it. Can we get a zoom?
This costume was the most elaborate and unnecessary thing that I
don't
ever
look
did.
at it. I don't look at it often because I can't.
It looks like a Photoshop.
So it's not.
It's so.
I really got fake plants from Michael's.
Did
and
you win that week?
I did not, because
What
let me
kind of
tell you
bullshit
something.
is that?
I did this for, I don't know if you can see it in the corner there, but I have a Bailey's bottle in a shoe as well.
I don't know why you didn't win that week.
Because I did this during a burlesque competition. This is kind of offhand, but whatever. Did this during a burlesque competition for Nerdlesque Week to embody a nerdy character. None of the judges had ever seen the Mighty Boosh and didn't know who Old Greg was. And I didn't know that. So I walked out, like I was getting ready to do this number, and the door people knew who I was, and I heard people in the audience be like, oh my god, fuck you, like I can't believe that's Old Greg. I finished this number. I'm so hyped because I like really obviously put a lot of fucking work into this. I mean, I made a fucking seaweed head.
Yeah.
I have a mustache on. That jacket, because I couldn't find the right jacket, we emergency made out of a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
That was a pair of white jeans that we found on clearance at Target that my roommate, 2 hours before I had to be there, helped me cut and sew and turn into a jacket.
Yeah.
There is a glued LED to a pair of underwear that I had a like a physical remote for so I could turn it on to be a mangina light. Like, I put a lot of work into this situation.
And then the judges
here.
hadn't seen it at all.
And after the end, they were like, we have no idea who this is or who you're supposed to be, but this was great. Question mark.
Wow. I hope they went home and watched it.
They didn't. No, I can guarantee you all three of them, no idea. But that's probably my all-time favorite. I want to remake this costume again a
You
little
need to.
more in depth.
You need to.
Because everything, I mean, like, the fishnets that I'm wearing, I got custom dyed.
Yeah.
And were sparkly so that they glittered like his scales.
You put
Like,
so much time into it. What
I
the fuck?
put so much time into this stupid costume and I've never worn it again. So,
Well,
if anybody wants me
hopefully-
to bring Old Greg back, please
bring
let
Old
me
Greg
know.
back. I want you to bring Old Greg back.
There's-
Oh,
yep, there he is. I
Old
got
Greg.
him in China. Do you see how much I put into this?
That one's not even half as good. Not even half. Well, hopefully in the next couple of years,
Creamy beige.
hopefully next year on Halloween, we'll be able to bring back all of these fun traditions that we've discussed today. Don't you think?
Yeah.
If
I just have
COVID
like one more
subsides.
thing.
What do you have?
Do you want to see the best costume that I've ever done?
Yes.
The dumbest costume that I've ever done.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did you find it?
Oh, I found it.
I didn't think you found it.
I only have one pic. There it is. There it is. Come on, Eileen.
This has been the last episode of Handle with Scare.
Because everybody says, come on, Eileen, but they never say where to come on, Eileen.
We're going to end the episode here, guys. I hope everybody had a wonderful time today on our last episode. If you want to follow the archives of Handle with Scare, because it's over.
It's over forever. I
you
broke
can
it.
go to at Handle with Scare X on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, fucking
Apple Music.
iTunes, yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Apple Podcasts. It's Apple
whatever.
Podcasts, right? Is it all the
I
same
don't
thing?
know.
Apple just does what they fucking want.
iHeartRadio, no?
No, Radio Public.
Radio Public.
And Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts, for you Android users. Yeah. And this has been our broadcast thing. Our broadcast
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, a chud.
What did it mean to see that? Did it mean they love me?
Places to look to in the past.
Fucking mess you made of things again.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.